Hey guys, welcome back to Mind Your Conversions, brought to you by Fibr. If you're new here, this is where we break down the art and science of marketing with our hosts, Jack and Emma. They will help you understand marketing better, explore fresh strategies, and most importantly, suggest you how to improve your website digital experience. So whether you're a seasoned pro, or even if you're just getting started, you're at the right place.
Usually when we talk about a business crisis, it's something loud and obvious.
Right, like a PR disaster.
Exactly, a catastrophic supply chain failure or a massive PR disaster blowing up on your social media feeds.
Yeah.
But right now, there is a completely silent crisis happening in marketing departments everywhere. And it is quietly draining ad budgets dry without anyone, pulling the fire alarm.
It really is a slow, insidious leak. I mean, because it's happening quietly in the background of data, dashboards, and ad accounts, a lot of teams don't even realize the sheer volume of capital they are hemorrhaging every single day.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They just see their customer acquisition costs creeping up and assume they assume it's just the cost of doing business.
Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah.
Today, our mission is straightforward, but absolutely critical. We are figuring out how to stop wasting money on paid ads.
A mission I think literally every business can get behind. Seriously. Our source material for this exploration is a June 2026 white paper published by Fibr AI. It's titled, How Personalizing Paid Landing Pages Reduces Cost Per Lead. And I want to speak directly to you, the listener, for a second, because the stakes here are very real for anyone who touches a business's bottom line.
The landscape has gotten brutal out there.
It really has. In 2026, average cost per clicks, or CPCs, across all major ad categories have spiked 12 to 18% year over year.
Which is huge.
It's massive. That means every single wasted click is bleeding your budget exponentially faster than it was just 12 months ago. You literally cannot afford to be inefficient anymore.
Yeah, that 12 to 18% increase it's a brutal reality check for the industry. It means the old marketing playbook of just, buying more traffic to cover up a bad conversion rate, that's mathematically broken.
You just run out of money.
Exactly. You cannot outspend a leaky funnel anymore.
Okay, let's unpack this because the core thesis of this white paper is actually a bit counterintuitive.
How so? Well, it argues that the biggest avoidable cost in your paid campaigns isn't the ad creative itself. It's not your bidding strategy or your targeting parameters. It is the generic landing page that visitors hit immediately after they click your beautifully designed ad.
Right, which is completely logical when you view it through the lens of user psychology. I mean, think about the modern ad experience.
Okay.
You spend all this time and money crafting a perfectly targeted ad. It speaks to a very specific, agonizing pain point the user has. The user clicks it because they feel understood. They think, finally, someone gets my problem.
Yeah, you've hooked them.
But then you drop them onto a generic one-size-fits-all homepage that just says, welcome to our software.
Whoa.
Exactly. It creates a massive cognitive disconnect. The white paper argues that resolving that disconnect, like bridging the gap between a hyper-specific ad and the post-click experience, is the single highest leverage cost per lead reduction tactic available today.
So if generic pages are the root of the problem, we need to understand exactly why they fail so miserably before we can talk about the mechanics of fixing them. Because right now, I'm picturing this disconnect, and I've got an analogy.
Oh, I love a good analogy. Lay it on me.
Sending hyper-targeted ad traffic to a generic landing page is like handing someone a bespoke, perfectly tailored suit jacket and then forcing them to wear a one-size-fits-all plastic poncho for the pants.
A plastic poncho for pants. Okay.
It kills the whole vibe. The customer's just going to turn around and walk right out of the store. But I hear you on generic pages being a problem. Yet if a company's software or product is undeniably revolutionary, won't a buyer stick around to figure it out anyway? Like, will a plastic poncho really scare off a highly motivated buyer?
What's fascinating here is that, yes, it absolutely will scare them off.
Really? Even if the product is amazing?
Even then. And it's because of a foundational concept called message match.
Message match.
Right. Message match is the exact degree to which a landing page's headline, its body copy, and its visuals mirror the specific promise made in the ad that drove the click.
Ah, so it has to line up perfectly.
Yes. If your product is the best in the world, but the message match is weak, the user subconsciously assumes they've taken a wrong turn. I mean, Human brain is lazy, they don't stick around to sift through paragraphs of text to figure out if your product is good. They just hit the back button.
So it's not about the quality of the product at all. It's about confirming they made the right choice, the exact millisecond the page loads. It's like an immediate trust signal.
That immediate trust signal is everything, but it goes so much deeper than just user feelings or brand perception. This is actually an algorithmic cheat code.
An algorithmic cheat code? How does that work?
Well, strong message match drops your bounce rates. People stay on the page longer to read, right? Well, Google's algorithms are constantly monitoring that micro interaction. They look at something called pogo sticking.
Pogo sticking.
Yeah, it's when a user clicks an ad, lands on your page, and then immediately bounces back to the search results.
Because that tells Google the user didn't find what they were promised.
Exactly. It's the exact opposite of what Google wants. Google's entire business model relies on serving relevant results. So they evaluate the post-click page relevance just as harshly as the ad itself.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize they judged the landing page that heavily.
Oh, absolutely. When you reward the user with strong message match, they don't bounce. Their dwell time increases. Google's algorithm registers that positive engagement and directly lifts your Google ad quality score.
And a higher quality score isn't just a vanity metric, it literally changes your pricing, right?
Yes, it acts like a discount coupon in Google's ad auction.
A discount coupon.
Basically, when your quality score goes up, Google rewards you with better ad placements and actually charges you a lower cost per click compared to competitors with worse pages.
That's incredible.
It is a compounding domino effect. Better message match equals a lower bounce rate, which equals a higher quality score, which equals cheaper clicks, and ultimately a drastically lower cost per lead.
Okay, so if we need to match the message to the intent to trigger this domino effect, doesn't that just mean utilizing standard demographic targeting? I mean, we've been doing this for decades.
You would think so, yeah.
Right, like we know if we're targeting a CEO versus an intern or a millennial versus a boomer, we just show the CEO the enterprise page, right?
You'd think so, but in 2026, standard demographics are way too blunt of an instrument to achieve true message match.
Too blunt.
Yeah. Knowing someone is a CEO tells you their title, sure, but it doesn't tell you what they want right this second. The shift is moving away from who they are and focusing entirely on granular behavioral intent.
Behavioral intent, meaning what is their digital body language telling us they are actually trying to do in this exact moment?
Yes. And human beings are, frankly, not capable of manually tracking this at scale anymore. The white paper highlights how AI tools now automatically identify emerging microsegments based purely on this digital body language.
What kind of body language?
The AI is analyzing things like the time of day, the device they're using, the exact long-tail keyword they searched, and the specific referral URL they came from.
That sounds a little abstract. Give me a concrete scenario of how this AI analysis actually changes the page.
Okay, let's look at a specific scenario from the source material. Imagine two different visitors clicking on your ads.
Okay, visitor A and visitor B.
Exactly. Visitor A is an enterprise user arriving via a branded search term. They actually typed your company's name into Google.
So they already know who we are.
Right. Their digital body language shows they've visited before. When they land on your site, they typically scroll right to the pricing page. Now, visitor B is cold traffic. They arrived from a broad, generic keyword like how to manage team workflows.
They have no idea who we are.
None. They don't know who you are, and they need a ton of context before clicking a buy now button even makes sense.
Right. Visitor B needs to be romanced a little bit. If visitor B is a blind date, you need to buy them a cup of coffee and establish some trust before you ask them to marry you.
That is a great way to put it.
And visitor A is already at the altar with their credit card out.
That's the perfect way to look at it. They both clicked an ad, sure, but they deserve entirely different landing pages based on that behavior.
Because if you mix them up,
it's a disaster. If you show visitor A a long educational video romancing them, you're frustrating them. You're putting speed bumps in front of a buyer.
just let them buy.
Exactly. But if you show visitor B a hard sell pricing grid right out of the gate, you're coming on way too strong and scaring them away. Identifying that behavioral intent through AI is what turns raw data into a lower cost per lead.
Here's where it gets really interesting, because now we have to talk about the physical reality of where these users are actually looking at these pages.
Oh, the device data?
Yeah. Once we know who these microsegments are, how do we scientifically figure out what to show them? We can't just throw things at the wall. And, crucially, we have to consider the screen they are holding. The white paper cites an unbounced industry benchmark that genuinely shocked me.
The mobile statistic.
Yes, 79% of SaaS landing page visits now happen on mobile devices.
It's wild.
79%. So we are building these scientific tests for a screen the size of a playing card.
That mobile reality completely shatters the traditional testing framework. The source outlines a very specific personalization hypothesis format that teams should use to systematically figure out what works.
Okay, what does that look like?
It strips out the guesswork entirely. It goes like this. If we show this segment a landing page experience with this element, we expect this metric to improve because of this reason.
Honestly, it sounds like a middle school science fair hypothesis.
Yeah.
Which I actually love. It takes the marketer's ego completely out of it.
It forces discipline, which is what marketers need here. A great example they provide, let's say your AI identifies a segment of B2B operations buyers clicking your ad.
Okay.
Your hypothesis would be, if we change the generic hero text to a highly specific headline like, onboard your entire team in 7 days or less, we expect the demo request rate to improve because onboarding speed is the primary operational pain point for this buyer.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
But tying this back to the mobile reality,
Yeah.
let's say you write that brilliant, highly targeted headline, onboard your entire team in 7 days or less. It's scientifically sound.
Yep.
But the user opens it on their iPhone, and the text size is so huge it gets cut off. Or the main call to action button requires the user to scroll horizontally to even click it.
They drop off immediately.
Just instantly gone.
Instantly. The friction is too high. The white paper stresses that your analytics must track mobile-specific scroll depths and exit patterns, totally separate from desktop data.
Why separate them?
Because desktop previews lie.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, a page might look perfectly optimized for your ops buyer on a marketer's massive 32-inch office monitor. But if the UI is broken on an iPhone, your highly scientific hypothesis is going to fail.
And you'll blame the wrong thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The tragedy is, you'll think your headline was bad when in reality, your formatting was just broken.
Desktop previews lie. That is a massive takeaway for anyone listening who's building these pages. So let's follow the logical progression of this workflow.
Sure.
Building a custom page for every single behavioral microsegment, testing all these scientific hypotheses, analyzing mobile formatting for every single variation. This sounds like an absolute logistical nightmare.
This sounds impossible.
Right. Historically, you'd need an army of web developers and engineers to code every single page variant. How is any modern marketing team actually surviving this workload without tripling their headcount?
That engineering bottleneck is exactly why most companies gave up on personalization prior to 2024. But 2026 platform technology has completely solved this. Tools like Fibr AI, which authored this white paper, use a concept called placeholder zones.
Okay, placeholder zones. Break down the mechanics of how that actually works. Where does the customized copy come from?
Think of it as a single master blueprint. You have one well-designed template that your brand team approves, but the headline, the hero image, the social proof block, the CTA, these aren't hard-coded. They are dynamic placeholder zones.
Okay, so they're basically blank spots waiting to be filled.
Exactly. The platform connects directly via API to your Google or Meta ad accounts. When a user clicks an ad, the platform instantly reads the specific keyword cluster that drove the click.
In real time.
In real time. Then, an onboard AI agent either pulls from a library of pre-approved copy variations or dynamically generates new text that matches that exact keyword intent, injecting it into the placeholder zones in the milliseconds before the page renders.
Wow. So you aren't manually building 100 different pages. You're building one structural page with 100 different potential masks it can wear, all powered by the ad data.
Exactly. The capabilities of this 2026 tech stack have removed the developer entirely. You have ad group level matching, meaning the AI tailors the page to the specific search intent.
Without writing any code.
Without a single line of code, you have no code variant creation, so marketers are executing this without ever filing an IT ticket. And most importantly, these AI agents autonomously deploy and optimize these pages in real time, learning which copy combinations yield the lowest cost per lead.
I have to stop you there because I noticed a highly specific, very futuristic detail in the tech stack section of the text that absolutely blew my mind.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
The white paper mentions LLM visitor detection. For the listeners, LLM stands for Large Language Model, which is the tech behind AI chatbots. Are we seriously personalizing landing pages for ChatGPT now?
We absolutely are, and it represents a massive shift in how B2B traffic operates today.
That is wild.
It really is. Platforms can now detect when inbound traffic is originating from AI assistants like ChatGPT, Perplexity, or Gemini, rather than a traditional Google search.
So if a user asks Perplexity for software recommendations, and they click a link to my site, the platform knows that. Why does an AI assistant referral get its own specific page experience?
Because the psychological state of a visitor using an LLM is entirely different. They are deep in research mode.
Right, they aren't just casually browsing.
No, they aren't doom-scrolling meta and clicking a flashy impulse buy. They prompted an AI with a complex, multi-layered question. The AI analyzed the landscape, cited your company as a primary source, and the user clicked through to verify the claims.
They're essentially doing an academic literature review on your product.
Right. So the platform detects that LLM referral source and serves a personalization tuned for heavy research intent. You swap out the aggressive buy now buttons for links to white papers. You provide deeper data tables, clearer citations, and less aggressive sales copy.
You are matching the psychological state of a deep researcher rather than a casual browser. That is incredibly nuanced. So we have AI agents capable of generating thousands of page variants instantly, swapping out placeholder zones, detecting ChatGPT traffic. The danger here clearly shifts from we have too little development power to we have way too much chaos.
Oh, absolutely.
If an ambitious marketer dives into this without a battle plan, they're just going to drown in a sea of AI-generated data. How do you prioritize what to personalize first?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, ruthless prioritization is the only way this works. You can't boil the ocean. If you try to personalize everything at once, you won't reach statistical significance on any of it.
You'll just have a bunch of noise.
Exactly. The white paper outlines a strict framework that essentially boils down to following the money and isolating your variables.
Walk me through the mechanics of that framework. Where do we start?
You always start with your highest spend ad group.
Which seems obvious.
It sounds obvious, but so many teams try to test on their small niche campaigns first because they're scared to touch the big ones. But you need massive data volume to reach statistical significance quickly, and your highest spend group gives you that data the fastest.
Right.
Plus, it produces the largest absolute dollar savings when you successfully reduce the cost per lead.
Follow the money. Makes perfect sense.
Good.
But high spend doesn't automatically mean the page is broken, right? How do you find the specific pages that are actually bleeding that budget?
That brings us to the second priority, finding the leaks. You cross-reference that high spend with the segments experiencing the highest bounce rates.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, a high bounce rate is a screaming, flashing alarm bell that your message match is fundamentally broken. By fixing those specific segments first, you are removing the absolute highest areas of friction in your funnel.
Okay, so we found the leaky, expensive pages. How do we test them without creating chaos?
By falling back on the scientific method, you isolate the variable. You test one element at a time, and you always start with the headline.
Why the headline?
Because the headline dictates that crucial microsecond first impression. If you let the AI change the headline, swap the hero image, and rewrite the button copy all at the same time, conversions might go up, sure.
But you wouldn't know why.
Exactly. You will have absolutely no idea which change actually moved the needle.
And once you isolate that winning headline, let's say you find the perfect one.
You multiply your success. Once a headline unequivocally works for one group of enterprise buyers, you use the AI to instantly roll it out to every other audience segment that shares a similar behavioral intent profile.
Well, that's smart.
Yeah, you scale the insight without having to run 100 individual redundant tests.
That is an incredibly tight, logical framework.
Right.
But the white paper includes a very passionate warning regarding these A/B tests. What is the trap that teams are falling into when they start seeing data roll in?
The biggest pitfall is impatience. Marketers are ending their A/B tests before reaching 95% statistical confidence.
Explain the math behind that for the listener who maybe hasn't taken a statistics class in a while. Why is 95% the magic number, and why is stopping early so dangerous?
Okay, let's use a coin flip analogy. If you flip a perfectly fair coin 10 times, you might get 8 heads and 2 tails just by pure chance.
Right.
That doesn't mean the coin is rigged. It's just random variance in a small sample size. But if you flip that same coin 1,000 times, it will naturally settle right around 50-50.
Okay, so the sample size is large enough to show the real trend.
Exactly. A/B testing works the exact same way. If you stop a test early because variation B looks like it's crushing variation A after just a few days, you are likely looking at a false positive driven by random noise. It's the equivalent of getting 8 heads.
So you roll out that fake winner thinking you're a genius, and a week later your conversions actually tank because it wasn't a real trend.
Exactly. The white paper warns that for smaller microsegments, reaching that mathematically sound 95% confidence threshold might take 4 to 6 weeks.
Wow, 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, not the standard 2 weeks most marketers are accustomed to. You have to let the math do its job, otherwise you are optimizing based on an illusion.
Patience pays off though, because the payoff metrics they share from the Fibr AI customer case studies are staggering. When teams actually follow this framework, we are talking about up to a 28% higher return on investment
That's massive.
and a 30% lower customer acquisition cost, or CAC, all within 90 days of implementing this AI infrastructure.
A 30% reduction in acquisition cost is monumental, especially when you remember the context we established at the start. The broader market is seeing CPCs increase by 18%.
Yeah, exactly.
Achieving a 30% cost reduction in an environment where everything is getting exponentially more expensive, that is the difference between a thriving business and one that is slowly suffocating under the weight of its own ad spend.
So what does this all mean? If we step back and summarize the mission we set out on today, the era of sending expensive, hard-won paid traffic to a generic, static homepage is completely dead.
Rest in peace.
Right. If you want to survive the 12 to 18% CPC hikes, you can't just bid higher. You need AI-driven message match to create a seamless psychological bridge between your ad and your user.
That is the definitive takeaway. And the most important thing to remember is that the technology has finally caught up to the theory.
The placeholder zone.
Exactly. Platforms like Fibr AI, Instapage, or Unbounce, they handle the heavy lifting now. The engineering bottleneck that held us back for a decade is gone. The only barrier left is a marketer's willingness to adapt their strategy and actually utilize the autonomous tools that are now widely available.
And as you, the listener, think about adapting your own strategies, I want to leave you with one final, slightly provocative thought to mull over.
Uh-oh.
If we follow the logic of this white paper to its absolute conclusion, if every single person who clicks an ad sees a dynamically generated, completely unique landing page, perfectly tailored to their specific behavioral intent, their LLM search history, and the exact dimensions of their device screen, does a company homepage even exist anymore?
Oh, wow, that's a deep question.
Or is a modern brand just a million different personalized reflections, constantly shifting based on exactly who happens to be looking at it? No more plastic ponchos, just a million perfectly tailored suits. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Mind Your Conversions, brought to you by Fibr. We hope you're walking away with fresh ideas and practical strategies to elevate your marketing and digital customer experience. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave us a review. Thanks for listening. Until then, take care, and we'll see you next time.